Everyone. This is Dewell here, and we're doing a Beyond the Bell once again. And I'm here with Malik Brown, and I don't think we need to get into much of an intro. You know how me and him go when when we're in the booth together. So I'm just going to let Malik have the floor because I know you looking at me as if he doesn't want to take much longer with these semantics. So we're just going to get right into it. Malik, go right ahead, buddy.
So first off, that last takedown, when I fought Marcus, I went back and I heard you say, or you thought, I don't know if it was you or somebody, but thought outright that oh, Malik is a different person now. He's different, you know. And a lot of people want to say Eric DeVille was the reason for that. Nah. Nah. See, that's not only is that a little insulting, but that's not even true. See, for the last
See, my thing. See, I said that it was a manifestation of everything up to this point, but
which
I never said you were a different person
yeah, I know. Well,
completely.
right. But some people will probably say that. But you're right. It is a manifestation of everything because I'm not gonna lie, and I haven't told you this. The only person that knows this is Sierra. But after Revelations, I mean, well, not after Revelations, after Redemption, after my match with Eric, whether I won or lost, it didn't matter. That takedown after, I was gonna go to the ring with my boots in my hand. I was gonna put my boots in the middle of that ring and just walk away. I was I was so fucking close to doing that. Because since I'll be generous, 2020, this thing I love, I've seen too many people butcher it and make it not fun for me. And that's not even counting the last 2 years where I was basically, I mean, not even basically, I was punished for being human, or I was punished because people couldn't come up to me and ask me what was up. And I was punished for that. And I had to watch people I mended bridges with, or I mended with, um be dragged with me because of somebody's obsession. And while all that's happening and I'm trying to do what's right, or I'm trying to help out in some way, I get basically disrespected. I get disrespected on some dumb shit. And I saw while this is going on, I'm like, yeah, nah. I was so close to being done. But I just said fuck it. I guess I'll stay. Cause what stopped me what stopped me was that little part of me that said, nah, don't walk away. Cause I ain't gonna do shit for nobody. Don't retire, because what's that going to do? That ain't going to do nothing. That ain't going to make you feel better. That ain't going to make the people around you feel better. The ones that been with you, that ain't going to make them feel better. That's not going to stop all this shit, because realistically, people are going to believe what the hell they're going to believe. But that doesn't mean that what they say about you is true. Don't let liars push you away from some you love. It was right then and there that I decided to change it up. I couldn't be determination anymore because, I mean, I've been holding for 4 some years onto that. And I figured I give it to somebody that I think would fit it a little better. But it's funny, right? How someone, you know who you are. I ain't got to say a name. You know who you are. They think I'm going back to my old ways. That's funny. Because they don't know. They really don't know. If I really wanted to go back to my old ways, every day I walk into this building, I would walk into this building with the proverbial bomb strapped to my chest. And I would take everybody with me because I would not give a fuck about my life or anybody else's life here. If I really went back to my old ways, nah. The difference is that I'm a little bit more clear-minded. I've been clear-minded for a long time. I may have my occasional slip up here and there, but I am more control for myself, and I'm more in tune with myself than I could say a lot of people aren't now. Cause I had to sit and let shit fester. And you know what I had to let fester. And I had to bring somebody into a thing that I felt was changing me and let him be a part of it. Because all I've heard or was hearing was, you got to deal with this shit between you and Needham. You got to deal with this shit between you and him. You got to end it. You got to end it. And it's infuriating as fuck. Because once again, I have to go on autopilot and do quote unquote the right thing just to soothe this person's ego and his fucking obsession. All because he felt wronged for not getting his world title, and he made it all about him. When the truth was out there from the jump. And you know, it's funny because I remember John saying, oh, people need to let go. People need to know when to move on. Which I could say something about that in a few minutes, which I chuckled. Because, you know, he's right, but ain't it funny how you say that, Johnny boy? Yet you still held on to the fact that you never got a proper shake in the VWU. I'm just saying, man, it's just crazy. But you remember what Needham said to anybody that was ever loyal to me, right? You remember that? Anybody that's loyal to me was a fool. When he was on his senseless anger. And I know somebody's go, well, he got robbed of the DCA world title. Robbed. Man almost robbed a career. Man was willing to break somebody's neck, willing to take somebody's career just to hold on to a belt that he obsessed over because he wanted to put himself in the same category as myself or like Zach Stone or even like Claudio or like many others. The very same man that sat there and said Chris McClain was trying to screw him out of things, when in reality, Chris McClain gave him everything. Even after the debacle of that Revelations from past, where he interfered, even after all that. And I can already see people are going to roll their eyes, right? Because, oh no, I'm bringing this up again. Motherfucker, I've barely talked about this. In fact, I've been keeping quiet. For 2 fucking years, I've been keeping quiet on how I really feel. Because I've pretty much figured out a long time ago, it's a waste of energy to try to talk and debate when people already assume who you are and refuse to see anything else. And that was a fuck ton of y'all. Never mind the fact, right, that James wants to feel like a cardinal act was against a bitch. You brought my wife into your bullshit. What do you mean you brought my wife? What do you mean I brought Sierra into it? What do you mean? Anybody loyal to Malik is a fool. You didn't just bring in Battle Pro. You didn't just bring in Jamal. You didn't just bring in the friends. You didn't just bring in my friends in this business. You didn't bring in my wrestling kids, my wrestle family, Battle Pro. You brought my fucking family into it too. Anybody loyal to me. That's also my wife. My little fucking brother in blood. As an older brother, James, you should understand. Unless, you know, you don't. So I had to live with that. And I had to hear motherfucker after motherfucker. Individual after individual. Oh, Malik is shady. I'm shady. Y'all so damn quick to believe after y'all know my quote unquote past so goddamn much that y'all like to talk about it so much, y'all like to bring it up. But man, ain't it funny how they bring up my past but forget why? I'm not loyal to people? Motherfucker, I broke myself just to bring this man right beside you back. But I'm not loyal. And all I had to hear was, while I moved on and tried to focus on things that mattered, because everybody kept saying, you need to settle your differences because this is bigger than. Hey, I don't know if you people noticed, but do you think Oseko and all of them knew from the jump what was going on? No, I did. And I was trying to keep it from festering. Fortunately, I didn't. And I tried to bring in help. And that was a problem too. We all know that story. But isn't it funny how everybody walks in double standards? How everybody forgets so fucking quickly? Y'all believed a guy who has never had the best interest for anyone except himself, and any of his assets. Man ain't even loyal to the people he so-called follows. Oh, you don't believe me? Every fucking time Revy does something he doesn't like, he's quick to turn on her. He's quick to feel sick so mentally and physically, both him and Hit. Every time Carmen does something he doesn't like, he's the first one to talk shit about. Sooner or later, when Trixie starts doing shit he don't like, you think Trixie's gonna get that? You think Trixie's gonna be having a loyal friend and need him? No. The moment she starts letting loose and just letting all that shit take over her, as it has now, but the moment she goes deeper into her hate, deeper into her hurt and she starts hurting everybody else around her equally like she did Amber twice? You think Needham and Hit are gonna be by her side? Oh no, they'll turn on her too. Hey, he did that to Ovana, by the way. Now he's trying to act all buddy about it. But we have to forgive, right? We have to forgive and move on, because that's the past. If it's the past, why do you keep bringing it the fuck up then? That's why on Twitter, after all that happened and with Tyler saying what he said, I pretty much made that decision. Like, this is the year where I'm just, the only people I care about is myself and my very tight few. I don't need to tell y'all who you are. You know who you are. Everybody else, I don't fucking care about you. Cause the time I tried to care, I was punished for it. I had people talking about accountability when half of them don't even know how to fucking spell the word. I had people telling me I was disloyal to my company. I had people believing the reckless anger of a man who didn't give a fuck about what was going on around him. He just wanted to be world champion. And when I finally gave him what he wanted, and I looked him in the eye and gave him his little story he wanted so goddamn badly, and I looked him in the fucking eye, and I told him, you're a lot like me, that was not a fucking compliment. That was a warning. You think that when I called James Needham J.C. Wolf, you think that was just me being a little funny because they're both British? No. I called you J.C. Wolf because that's what you're slowly becoming. You're becoming the same problem J.C. was. You think I'm not tired of seeing the same old shit, somebody coming out the fucking woodwork, getting their little pound of flesh for days past? Oh, Roman, you're so justified for what you did. You're right, he is. But last I checked, that was years ago. That was years ago. Why couldn't you move on? All right, you wanted to be petty. And you wanted to take back that. Because while you're part-timing in that other company, you decided to come here and get your little measure of revenge back. Your pound of flesh. But he's justified. He's justified in what he's doing. I wonder how long you can use that word until he goes too far, until somebody goes too far. How long are you justified until you start hurting people around you, huh? And I'm waiting for somebody. I'm fucking waiting for somebody in the comments, right, to tell me, well, you weren't justified in this or you weren't justified in that. You're damn right I wasn't. But at that time, I didn't give a fuck because I had a goal, what I was trying to do. I have seen people who have done atrocious shit be forgiven. And I have seen people who have done minor shit be vilified to the upteenth fucking degree. At some point, you're going to have to start questioning the character of some individuals. At some point, you're going to start asking questions. How is it that all of y'all are getting on Charles's dick and getting mad at him? Was he wrong in what he did? Yeah. But how is it that y'all gonna get on him when y'all do the exact same fucking thing? Trixie, you're guilty of this. How you gonna get on to him and talk about how he can't move on, but you still held on to some shit for Zach? I mean, fuck. Wasn't putting Amber in the hospital twice not fucking enough for you? Hmm? But you still holding on Zach? I don't know. That's a Charles Schultz-like mentality if I ever saw one. James, you guilty of that shit too? 2 years you intentionally and purposely dragged my name and everybody else's name in the mud over a world fucking title. You didn't give a fuck about the war. You didn't give a fuck what was going on. You didn't care. You quote unquote live in the chaos. You didn't care. You didn't care that I was trying to rally people to stop a threat, which, you know, everybody likes to roll their eyes about that. Oh, threats happen every single day. That's a new one. If you're so fucking tired of it, then fight with me then. Because that's another thing. I see too many of y'all bitch, but I don't see enough action. But back to you, Needham. You didn't care one bit about this war, but you made yourself believe so. And that was to spite me and Zach. You're like Dane Vogel. On the outside, people see you as this this flawed individual who means well. He just wants to do things the right way because that's what you want to do. You want to do things the right way. You want to be the staggering hero that puts himself out there with his cross, with a cross in one hand, a stake in the other, and you're out there to say, damn if I do, damn if I don't. If I'm such a horrible person, strike me now, God. But deep down inside, you are a power-hungry, fucked in the head person. You're no better than me. You're no better than anybody else. You are willing to step on people's necks. You are willing to put anybody down for your desire. And as much as people want to put similarities between you and me, even me to an extent, there's a reason why when I said you're a lot like me and I said it wasn't a compliment, is because you're a lot like the old me. And the difference is I grew up and got help. And I stopped bullshitting myself. You're still bullshitting yourself, James. And I've seen too many guys like you who have come into this business with that same mindset. They don't last long. Oh, sure. Their goal may be they want to be the biggest thing. They want to be the guy. They want to be the highest in everything. But they burn so quick like Icarus. They get too close to the sun. They fall. They drown. Too many of y'all don't really listen to what y'all say. And too many of y'all will talk about moving on, but still hold a beef, a problem with the VWU. Hey, John, what'd you say? Oh, yeah, the VWU hasn't been united since 2019? Yeah, you're right. We're only united when a big threat looms and emerges. Yeah, you're right. But allow me to say a thing. You and a lot of people like you really think that a 4-year problem can be solved in one. And what's crazy is that you willfully took a shot at individuals like Trixie by saying along the lines of too many people are willing to throw away who they are and their morals for the sake of achieving something, or willing to turn and be something else because of a because of one thing or another. You sarcastically and also wittily called it the norm. Yet you also in the same breath said you were willing to do the same thing. That's some hypocritical bullshit. And I promise you, you do that shit, I will put you in the fucking ground. Because if there's one thing I'm not about to take in 2024, I'm not about to take hypocrites. You want to be world champion so fucking bad? Then fine, go for that title. But I challenge you to do something that a lot of people don't have the mental fucking strength to do. I challenge you to stick to your convictions. I challenge you to stick to your morals. I challenge you to be better. I challenge you to turn that obsession into something positive. I challenge you to be an actual fucking voice within the VWU. And if you're so upset that you never got your fair shake, then use all that and make your voice heard. In fact, I'll give you the fucking platform. You and me at Prestige. Because you're not the only one that wants that VWU World title back. Because the way I see it, whether people like me or don't like me, the one thing people will always take is that they enjoyed it when I was VW World Champion because I made that belt mean something, and I at least gave them something that they were proud of when those 3 letters came about, VWU. See, I want that title too. And from one 7-time world champion to another, if you think for 1 minute I haven't thought about wanting that belt back, the belt that I basically made, you're wrong. I want it back. You say you're willing to do whatever it takes. Okay. Let's see if you're willing to stick to what you are known for, but you're also willing to do everything and anything to put me down. Because see, John, as much as I enjoy your passion and as much as I enjoy what you said and I feel for how you feel, I don't trust you with that world title. Because all you showed me was hypocrisy. You're willing to turn because shit didn't go right with you. You're willing to turn because you never got the fair shake. You're willing to turn because you're willing to do all that because you feel like it should have been you. I'm not saying you don't deserve it, but man, I wouldn't be bringing Charles Schultz's name up in the same fucking category when you're doing the same shit he's doing. I wouldn't be trying to give backhanded remarks about Trixie when you're doing the same fucking thing Trix is doing. Because if there's one thing I definitely don't want in the VWU, I don't want people that have a weak will. And I damn sure don't want anybody that has a weak heart either. There's too many people within the VWU I don't fucking trust to represent those letters. Realistically, the only ones I can trust is Jamal and Sly and the former champion that was screwed out of his title. I trust them. Contrary to what somebody may feel about a Sly Cooper or a Claudio, I trust them. And I trust Jamal. There's a few I don't. So John, at Prestige, prove to me that you are strong enough to really make the VWU what you want it to be, what it was before. Because if you win that belt and you basically do what you have condemned others for doing, it's meaningless. It means jack and shit. Darius, this is the year where I'm tired of keeping quiet. In fact, I've been quiet long enough. I'm going to start opening my mouth every chance I get. And I'm going to say what should have been said and needs to be said. I don't care if people are going to like it. I don't care if y'all going to feel some type of way. Because realistically, a lot of y'all's words don't mean a damn to me. I will still sleep soundly at night. Y'all can talk about how I'm different. Y'all can sit there and make those assumptions, be the revisionist y'all want to be. But the truth will outweigh any narrative that gets pushed around here. The truth outweighs a lot of things, Darius. You want a truth? Here's a truth. Truth number one, Zach isn't as bad as people make him out to be. And everybody has a reason for not liking Zach. For James, his reasons is petty, materialistic as fuck. For Trixie, it goes a little deeper. But what I'm thinking is this. You've forgiven Carmen and Akira for less. And like I said earlier, you put Amber in the hospital twice, his wife. I would think you'd have moved on. But you chose to stay in your hurt. So Trix, answer me this. How long can you stay in that hurt until you have nothing left? Because I promise you, it doesn't do anything. You're going to be looking for something that was never there for the rest of your life, and you're going to waste all your life. Whether you want to listen to me or not, I don't care at this point. I'm just tired of seeing people I care about willfully commit suicide on themselves, all for the sake of wanting to hurt somebody and not realizing that they're just going in circles. I've seen too many people who do this, and it doesn't help. We are all flawed, every goddamn single one of us. But what separates one from the other is either how they pick themselves back up from situations or how much they own up to things. For too long, I have owned up to a lot of my mistakes. So much so, and tell me if I'm wrong, I pretty much became a punching bag for everybody's problems. Am I wrong for saying that? Am I lying for saying that? In fact, in fact, no. Before I even get back to what I'm saying, here's a little funny story. Christmas last year. Guess who visited me? Carmen. Carmen visited me to give me a Christmas gift. I'm wearing it right now, actually. See it? It is a necklace. And at the end of it is a punching bag. And engraved on it is number 2. She has a bracelet. Same thing. But hers is engraved as number 1. That was her Christmas gift to me. At this point, my goals of 2024 are as follows. Me winning the CZW championship, which, again, I don't give a fuck what y'all say, including you, Hit. I don't want to hear you. I don't want to hear your two-faced opinion about who gets screwed or who's not, you fucking hypocrite. I could care less. Because you will stab anybody and everybody in the back for the sake of something. I mean, fuck. I don't think you're in any position to get on to me. Hit, I don't think you're in any position to get on to me about how I did things to win that belt. Your older fucking brother tried to blackmail my fucking company just to get what the fuck he wanted and didn't give a fuck about anybody else because he felt entitled. I don't give a fuck if he said, I'm not going to do that because I want to do things the right way. As far as I'm concerned, he's only doing that shit to spite people. Vin was right, whether he wants to admit it or not. And notice how he kept real fucking quiet about that shit, right? Notice how James never responded back to what Vin said about him, right? He just responded to the fact that he wanted the challenge. One day, James, you gonna cut that bullshit and you gonna have to lay it all out. Bear every fucking thing, because you didn't bear shit. After Jamal told you that it wasn't a good idea, you didn't bear anything. You just said the same shit. You put the same people in your mouth that you would never meet. You ragged on Zach. You ragged on Charles. You ragged on everybody else. You ragged on them. Let's not start talking about screwing people. Let's not go there. Let's really not. Because last I checked, I didn't blackmail ZZW to get a world title shot. Sucks, don't it? When that gets brought up a lot, huh? Yeah. Trust me. It gets better. Because you'll never live that shit down. No matter how many times you say, I didn't do it. I wasn't going to do it. No matter how many times you say, I thought about it and it was wrong. The fact you still did it is still out there. Welcome to life. So Gateway to Heaven's happening, right? And I already know some people are wondering, well, you're obviously in the Gateway to Heaven ladder match. I personally don't care who's in that match. I'm coming for that belt. I want the DCA World Heavyweight Championship. It's been too long. See, I spent a good chunk just like sitting back and letting everybody grow. Pushing people. I've been basically a gatekeeper. Yeah, well, it's time for me to go back for that world title. And Gateway to Heaven is the first step.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here from Malik Brown, letting everything out, letting it all go. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of fallout to it, but nonetheless, that's what Beyond the Bell is all about. And for myself, for Malik, we thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time.